Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Amrit here from Aussizz Migration, Collins Street. I'm a registered migration agent here. I will be talking to you today regarding family visas, which will include child visas, adoption visas, partner, parent, and some of the chain migrations that you might be interested in talking about. Well, I would highly recommend you to like, comment, and share this video if it's not relevant to your current scenario. It might be relevant to one of your friends, one of your families, or some of their friends as well. Okay, so let's get into it. We're talking about the child visa first. Now, you might be wondering, why do they have a child visa in place? Well, so there are some parents who are here on any other visa and then they leave their child back home because of some study issues, some family issues, or anything of that sort of. So if they become permanent here while their children are overseas, they can bring the children later on to Australia permanently on a child visa. Now, there are two types. There is an onshore stream and there is an offshore stream as well. And of course, I'm telling you again to like, comment, and share. If this is not applicable to you, it might be to someone else. So if you can help as many people, that would be lovely. Okay, so child visas, 101 is a child visa offshore, and 102 is a child visa offshore but adoption visa. So we do have a lot of families who are adopting, who are going through surrogacy, or who are bringing their children from overseas. Now, this visa is for offshore applicant, and of course at the time of grant you have to be offshore as well. And then I will also look into adoption visa. Now, with adoption visa, it's very similar to child visa, but it's the only difference that we have is with adoption visa, you adopt the child after you become Australian permanent resident or citizen, and eligible New Zealand citizens as well. So that one, and for an onshore child and adoption together, they've put it together as an 802, which is if you adopt a child here or your child is born here, and then stuff like that. So for more details as in which one would be best suitable for your current situation, I would suggest booking an appointment with one of our migration agents. You can book with me. Myself is Amrit here at Collins Street office, Melbourne. And then with child visas, as I've told you, there are different types. Now, sometimes if you adopt a child through a Hague Convention or bilateral arrangements, those people who are not aware of these things, there's adoption, different places there where you adopt a child overseas and in Australia. So with overseas adoption, I would like to tell you there are inter-country adoptions that are already having some agencies in Victoria, in Australia throughout, and overseas, which is which is very equivalent to a legal adoption, and you're not doing anything illegal in that sense, but which will help you to get your child in Australia according to the immigration rules. So there's nothing illegal in that sort. What you have to do is make sure that your country where you're adopting the child is under Hague Convention or bilateral arrangements. Then you can directly apply for citizenship of your child who is currently overseas. But of course, for that you have to be Australian citizen. One of you has to be Australian citizen at the time of adoption. Okay. Again, anything that you wanted to talk about in particular, you can email me, you can leave a comment, you can share this video to your friends. That would be lovely. Okay. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was bringing your partner in Australia. Now, there are many partner cases that we're coming across on a regular basis. Which includes onshore and offshore partner visas. Now, onshore 820, 801, offshore 309 and 100. So I'm just going to refresh my page here. Yeah, so with these partner visas, what you have to do is there are 3 steps or 3 things that you have to consider while you're trying to bring your partner. Now, the first thing is if you are married, which is a very strong legal background to bring your partner in Australia as a permanent resident. The second thing, if you're not sure about marriage, I would suggest living together for 12 months. Now, this is a period that has been prescribed in the legislation. That means you have to live together and have collective proofs of living together for 12 months. Now, it doesn't have to be in Australia. It could be anywhere in this world, as long as it's 12 months together in one go. So proofs like bills together, lease documentation together, your bank balances at the same address, your phone addresses, your super, everything has the same address. That's like the proofs that you're living together as a couple, of course. And then the third thing that I can tell you, if you're not married, not living together, is to register your relationship in Australia. Now, it's not a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship. It means you're registering a domestic relationship in Australia, saying that you're a couple, but you're not yet married. You're planning to get married if you want to, but you don't really have to, okay? Now, in this category of registering your relationship, each state has different requirements in Australia, such as Victoria, that don't really require you to be living together. In some states, you have to be living together to register as well. If you're not sure which one is applicable to you, what you should be doing for yourself and your partner, you can book an appointment with me, Amrit, and then I can guide you through the process, okay? Now, I have come across some of the cases where people are saying, well, I'm not in my relationship with my old partner, but I want to sponsor this new partner. Well, if your divorce is not finalized with your old partner, then you cannot do anything to register your relationship until you divorce the first partner. So anything complication, if you think there's something that nobody can understand, nobody can guide you, can you please come see me in Collins Street office, and then we can of course guide you through that process. And I will tell you once again, kindly like, comment and share this video. If it's not right for you, it could be right for someone else. There's so many people out there who are willing to get help in partner visas as well. Okay, my next thing I was talking about is still partner visa, but this partner visa is offshore, which is 309-100. Now, a lot of our clients, they go back home, get married, come back again, and they're like, what should I be doing? Well, we apply for your partner visa offshore, and then you can apply for visitor visa to get the partner here meanwhile, so you can stay together, collect your documentations together. And I will talk about the 4 pillars of partner visa that we call in our immigration, which means you have to prove 4 different things to prove that you're a genuine relationship, you are committed to each other. Okay, well, the first of that is a household commitments. How do you commit to each other as households? Chores, who's doing what? How are you getting bills together? How are you getting the phone bills and everything together in the house? Okay. The second pillar is the financials. How are you supporting each other? Well, a lot of people, a lot of friends help each other. They transfer money to each other. But how are you really supporting each other financially as a couple? Even if it's a registration of relationship, even if it's 12 months together, how would you do that? Well, the first thing I would suggest is having joint accounts together, having supper and each other beneficials for each other in your super, and then maybe create a will with each other. And that's a lot of very strong relationship documentation where you are actually trusting and believing in your other partner. And then you're ready to give whatever you have to that partner. Well, that could be something really beneficial. So financials, bank transfers to each other. If the person is offshore from some business accounts or something, how are you supporting while you're here? And of course, I would like to suggest when you're traveling, travel together, book tickets together, go to honeymoon, go to Bali, go to these different things together to collect more proofs. That is a very good evidence of genuine relationship. Well, the third pillar that we're talking about is commitment again. Commitment to each other no matter what. Well, I personally believe as a couple, you do get hard times together. you have to keep evidence of that, I guess. Some people, they come to me and they say like, oh, we didn't live together, we didn't have enough evidences for 1 month. Well, for me, I think that's a very strong bond that as a couple, everybody fights. That's fine. Collect those proofs, collect documentations, give each other gifts, and commit to each other long run. The department will only consider your application as a genuine relationship, and genuine committed relationship is they will think of a normal couple. Now, a normal couple fights, a normal couple lives together, they always match up to each other, they always do nice things to each other. So just committing to each other, and then your personal statement of how you are looking into this relationship in long run. Of course, there's going to be a statement from each of you. They might be coming to you or ringing you both and finding out who does what and who does not. So you should be on the same page at this stage. And then the last pillar that we have is social aspect. Well, a lot of people do get scared when I tell them, you have to update your Facebook page and it should not be saying single, it should not be saying anything. Well, I would say it should be a social relationship. It doesn't work out if it's a secret relationship and it's only you two who knows that you're a couple and nobody else around you. So make sure you update your Instagram, so Facebook, whatever you use. Yeah, it's okay if you don't have a lot of pictures online. Let's say if your Instagram is all about food, so then they won't expect you to have your couple photographs there, of course. But if you have your photos there, but just yourself and no one else, then they would suspect, oh, this person could be single or only doing it for the purpose of visa. So make sure you're covered at all costs. So you should have all of these social aspects to take this into consideration. Okay. Well, I do get a lot of inquiries. What happens if we have lived together overseas and not in Australia, and my partner is Australian citizen? How can we do it together? Now we want to come back to Australia. So like I said, you have to prove that you're living together for 12 months. If it's not marriage, of course, 12 months, and then it could be in Australia and offshore. As long as you take those paperwork into consideration, you have those proofs that you lived together. Now that can't be like, oh, we didn't have any bank account in this foreign country, or I didn't have any proofs together. So you should make sure when you're living together, even right now, if it's only 6 months down the line that you've lived together, start collecting the documentations now. Once you're ready for partner visa, if you still don't know what to do, I would suggest book an appointment with me. My name is Amrit at Collins Street office. You can see us. There's other 6 migration agents here. We do get a lot of busy timing, especially with the new 1st of July price rise in the immigration. We're telling, let's try to finalize everything if you have anything in place now. If you're thinking about partner visa, come see us. We're happy to help you. And of course, like, comment, and share. If this is not relevant to you, it could be relevant to one of your partners. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to really talk about is parent visa, as my last video as well. A lot of things are happening in parent visas. Yes, we did have a new parent visa temporary sponsored stream 870. The visa is not in place. The visa is starting on 1st of July. The sponsorship is still active. A lot of people have been applying for it. The good part for that family is that you don't have to meet the family test balance. You can bring your parents here on a temporary visa. No work rights, of course, but they can stay here in Australia for 3 to 5 years, up to 10 years maximum. And then they have multiple travel rights, so they don't have to. What it means is they don't have to leave the country every now and then, but they can if they want to. There's no restrictions, and they can stay here for a long run for 3 years straight without traveling as well. Depends on what is your current situation, how your parents' health is, depending on that. If you wanted more information about parent visa, please book an appointment with me, Amrit, at Collins Street, Melbourne office. Now, with parent visas, of course, we do have permanent parent visas, which is contributory aged, non-aged parent visas. Sorry, I'm just looking at my comments here and seeing. Sorry. Okay. With parent visas, like I said, contributory, non-contributory, aged, not non-aged visas. In those visas, you have to meet family test balance. Now, what I mean by that is if you have 4 siblings, if you are 4 siblings and then 3 of us are in Australia on a permanent visa or citizen, the 2 of them are in India or Indonesia or Malaysia or anywhere in this world, then you still meet it because majority of the kids are in Australia on permanent visa. Then you meet. Now, some people only have 1 child here in Australia as an Australian citizen, and the others are back home in America, in UK, in Italy, wherever. And then, like, if there's only 1 child away, then it's fine. So as long as it's 50-50 balance, that's fine. If it's more than 50% away from Australia, not on permanent visa in Australia, then you do not meet the family balance test. Okay, so of course, contributory visa is a bit expensive one, but you don't have to pay everything up front. There are 2 installments. First installment, you pay, you lodge the visa, you wait for the outcome. The second installment, once they're ready to grant your visa, they've seen that all the health and everything is fine, there's no issues. Once they're ready to grant the visa, that's when they'll ask the higher amount of the money, which is around 46,000 for each applicant right now at this stage. Okay. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about is, sorry, just give me 1 sec here. I'm trying to adjust my screen so I can see who's commenting and who's not. So if I'll be able to comment as well. Okay. All right. So yes, parent visas, everything is sorted out. If you have any questions, of course, you can come back to me, book an appointment, and we're happy to help you out. Okay. Now, let's talk about a little bit of the chain migration. Now, I know a lot of people have asked us before, why am I not getting an invitation? Why we're still stuck? A lot of accounting people, a lot of things, because in the last few months, I know there were not a lot of invitations issued. There were only a few, but we're expecting to maybe see some invitations coming in the new financial year. And then some of our clients didn't really know how to go through the family visa stream. So I can tell you a little bit about that 489 visas, which is a provisional PR, we call it, a pathway to PR. You can get points for your family member who are here in Australia on a permanent visa. I know that's exciting. I can tell you a bit more about that. What happens is, if you have a brother, sister, sibling, first cousins here in Australia and living in a designated area, your first uncle, first aunt who are citizens, PR, eligible New Zealand citizens, they can give you 10 points. Yes, that they can give you 10 points, and then you can get that extra 10 points to maybe get an invitation in the family sponsored stream. It is very rare that you will see that not a lot of people will get the invitations. Most people do get invitations on 489 family sponsored stream because it's a pathway to PR. Yes, there are limited spaces, but there are still spaces as long as you are planning on doing another PTE, 8 each, or maybe another NATI test, or still doing your PY or something to increase your points. I would still suggest to keep in the loop and still be there in the process of getting invitation starting from now. And then, of course, hopefully you will get the invitation within the next few months with that. The next thing that I really wanted to put forward is with 489, it will be changing from November to 491. Pathway to permanent residency will remain the same. It's just a different number that we're having. Instead of 489, it's 491. Instead of having 10 points from a family member who's an Australian citizen or permanent resident, you will be getting 15 points from November. Yes, that's exciting. You'll definitely be there on top after getting any family points. Of course, I would still say there's nothing better than 189. But yes, if you're not meeting the point criteria right now, I would suggest applying for 489 in the family stream, as long as you are in the loop, in the line, in the queue to get invitation. Well, I do get some of the clients saying, oh, what about I will wait for my PTE score and I want to go for 189 only. Well, you can wait for your PTE score, but if you're eligible, if you have 75 points right now, and then you're waiting for getting another 10 points from your 8 agent PTE score, let's get you in the board. Let's get you started with an EOI at least, so you are still in the line. So there, from now onwards until your next PTE score, I don't know, maybe there's like hundreds of people applying an invitation with 75 points. But who's going to get invitation at 75 if you haven't really applied? They will, of course, get it beforehand. So at least just get on board. Just try to start. If you have any personal concerns, if you really wanted to talk to me and finding out what are your best options, I would recommend booking an appointment with me, Amrit, in Collins Street office, Melbourne. Will be lovely. We'll be grateful to have you on board. Okay. Okay, I'm just seeing my screen here. Okay, the last thing that I really wanted to talk about is just to get there, the 485 visas, the TR. A lot of student visas expire in the month of July and August. We're going to get really busy in Aussies here. Trust me, sometimes we sit here until 12 p.m. to sit like at midnight to still finalize applications. Yes, that's crazy. So I would like to suggest you guys, if you are about to finalize or give your test and just about to finish up in your university, I would suggest still come and see us. We do offer free TR consultations, of course. To come and see us and get ready with other paperwork. Meanwhile, you're waiting for your completion letter. Let's get everything else sorted out, because it's going to get really crazy and chaotic and busy up here. So the sooner that you can come, the sooner we can prepare your application. We can just get you sorted out. So you're just waiting for just one last thing to add on to your application. You're not waiting until you get everything and then coming in and then starting over. And then I'm telling you, oh, maybe you need this one as well. Let's get you started and let's get you prepared with everything beforehand. So when you get the completion letter, first instance, you're just lodging that one application and then we're just done with everything. So don't wait until July and August end. We do get clients on the last day of their visa expiry. Please don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to any of your friends. Just please tell everyone whoever's visa is expiring in July and August, please come see us as soon as possible. We can help you. We can start getting your process ready right now. Okay? Well, that is a very important piece of advice that I'm giving you. Trust me, it gets really crazy busy here. All right, I'm gonna see the comment section and hopefully reply some of you there. Just give me 1 minute. Just bear with me. Don't go away. And please like, comment, and share this video. Of course, if it's not relevant to you, it could be relevant to a lot of your friends, a lot of your family members. Seems like I've lost my page here. I think it's here. Let me get my friend's help here. Just bear with me for a moment. Sorry guys, I lost my video page where I will be able to look at your comments and hopefully reply them all now. Just bear with me for one tiny second, please. The comment section. Well, meanwhile this is getting fixed, I would like to wish you all a very, very happy weekend, long weekend. What are you guys planning for this long weekend? Of course, it's not as bad as last week. The weather was raining and where you could not do anything. Well, hopefully you can get some sunshine now on this weekend and go out with your families and friends. If you have any issues with visas and anything, of course you can come see us. We're not open on Monday, but Saturdays we open sometimes, depending on your appointments. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting to see my comments. I don't think I do have any comments here. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, if you have any questions regarding any family migration, any TR inquiry, student inquiry, child visas, adoption visas, you don't know what to do, you're stuck, one of your family is stuck back home, one of your friends need help, I would suggest refer them and let them come here, see us. We would suggest booking an appointment with one of our migration agents in Melbourne, Collins Street office. And of course, if you're unable to book an appointment and you just work nearby and you just want to walk in, that's fine too. We'll love to accommodate you. We'll find out a spot for you and then we'll be here to help you all the way. And lastly, I would suggest enjoy, stay safe, and have a very happy long weekend. Cheers guys, bye.